Welcome back. Of course, it's still Daybreak Africa if you're just joining us, and we are on from our own the studio here, which is the Sunshine State of the Nation, and I still remain Michael Obagiri. Today we'll be talking about something very interesting. It's a World Day, the International Day of Zero Tolerance to Female Genital Mutilation. Is a situation that has been happening all over the world, especially in Africa here. And to do justice to this wonderful topic is a girl child advocate in the studio, a very wonderful guest of our own person, the person of Aderonke Ogunlade. Good morning to you.
Good morning. And I'll use this medium to say Happy New Year.
I wanted to say that.
This is the first time I've been on this show.
Happy New Year to you too.
Yes. We wish ourselves the very best.
To us.
Amen.
A lot of goodies.
And I must say the year has already been favorable to you because look at the way you're looking.
Looking favorable.
Anyways, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Going straight to our discourse for the day. Today is the International Day to Zero Tolerance against female genital mutilation. So, according to data shows that 32.3% of Nigerian women aged 15 to 49 living in urban areas have undergone female genital mutilation compared to 19.3% of women living in rural areas. Now, it is most prevalent in the southeast by 35%, southwest by 30%, and northeast by 6%. Specifically, Ebonyi, Ekiti, Imo, Osun, and Oyo states are where you could find some of this situation or some of these acts being carried out. Now, there are no federal laws that actually prohibit this act, although in Africa as well, 28 countries carry out these practices. In Africa, we will still see cases in East and South Africa, in Uganda, in the East and South Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania. Female genital mutilation is to control women's sexuality according to the purpose of the act. They said the female genital mutilation is to control women's sexuality, to ensure virginity before marriage and fidelity afterward, and increase male sexual pleasure. Now, first of all, before we start talking about the International Day, which was brought on, I think, 2003, what actually will you talk about this particular practice? I would like to term it a barbaric practice because it is one which is very detrimental to the health of a woman. So what do you have to say about it?
Well, we're to talk about female genital mutilation. It is a barbaric act, one of the most barbaric acts of the traditional harmful practices we have in Nigeria, not even in Nigeria alone, like about 28 countries are also into it. So all they need to say is just to curb the female sexuality, which it has no religious base, it has no medical base. They just want it to be done so that they will feel accepted in the society, because if you've not done that for your female child, you feel inferior in the midst of others who have done for their own child. And we have 4 main types of female genital mutilation. It is more deeper than the other. We have one which is just the initial cutting part. We have some that is so deep that they will have to carry out another kind of operation to stitch it again after the whole act. It is very, very painful. It is so barbaric, animal art. Because I once had a lady, I read her profile, who said at the age of 9 years, she went to her grandmother's place to spend a holiday. On getting there, maybe 3 days after, the grandmother took her to one old woman's place. On getting there, the grandmother had to head her 2 ways. The woman brought out a blade, a razor blade, scraping her female genitalia. It is so barbaric, just like picking a fowl and putting a knife in its neck just to slaughter. The same thing applicable when you say you are doing female genital mutilation for a female child. It is uncalled for. It is so animalistic to that extent. Before your eyes being opening, cutting a part of your body, scrapping it out, just in the need you want to curb your sexuality. So it is so barbaric. Especially we have it around us in this Nigeria. It is where that is very close to you that you can just discuss. You have it very happening at your eyes. When you move to some east part, maybe they want to get married, a fully grown up ladies. When I was very small, I do watch some series in television. I don't think they do it again. they do it in those days, that they bring a lot of those issues on TV. That lady, she's around maybe 28 years. She wanted to get married from Delta. So they, before our wedding day, they just have to circumcise. They use that word circumcision. That is what they call it. That is what we know it for. At the age of 28, circumcising a grown-up woman because she wants to get married. So they've done it for maybe 3 of her sisters. When she already know that it's going to be her turn. So 3 days to the wedding, she knows it's going to be done. She has to jump from the window and run away from the house. So she can't, because to be hearing your sister screaming, the pain, the agony, that thing will go and heal up in her husband's house when even marriage stress is even waiting for her. So she will not carry another wound down to that place. It is a barbaric act. 28 years old lady. So I think it is so uncalled for doing circumcision for female child.
All right. From what you've really said, we understand the part that civilization has really played in this. Now, it is recorded that the act has drastically reduced in the last 30 years. But as of today, as we speak, over 200 women or girls have experienced their survival of female genital mutilation. And now, about 4.4 million Nigerians or people are going to experience this. So now, if you are going to look at it, it sounded at the beginning as a success rate. And at the same time, it's looking like there's nothing that has been done, because if you look at it, we have over 12,000 cases yearly. I mean, per day, if I may say that. Now, if you look at this, this is a very big one. This is a situation that we really need to fight on. But at the same time, we have traditions, and most people will be like, okay, it's our tradition. If you look at it, there are a lot of rights to this, rights for that. But our tradition too is a right. Now, looking at combating this and fighting the tradition, how has it been so far?
No, there are 2 things, 2 principalities fighting against one another. Civilization, tradition. You know, at the initial stage, it is so progressive that we have a lot of people like 30 years ago, it has reduced drastically. But now, it is as if it is retrogressing.
It's coming back.
It's coming back. We can say, you know, people, they want to give respect to tradition, but there are some tradition practice that should be stopped. You know, if people, what they are claiming is that it is tradition, it is cultural, but do we know that there are a lot of traditional practices that are stopped, like the killing of twins? Another one is also barbaric, because someone has twins, just carry those twins, slaughter them like a fowl. Another one that stopped, maybe a woman who her husband died, that he will shave off the whole hair on her head, she will sit on the floor, sleep on the ground for some days. Asthma, all those pneumonia, you know, all those one too, it has also stopped. So the same thing, we have to cooperate, because it is some people that they're supposed to fight for this act. They're even the one going into that act, because they want to feel like, if they should know that I didn't do for my daughter, how will I feel in the society? I'll feel like a bad egg. So traditionally, we should come together to stop this. I say 2 principalities fighting against each other, the civilization and the traditional practice. We should let them understand that it is not all traditional arts that must stand. It is not everything. Okay, if you want to say traditional practice to not stop, they should start killing of twins. A lot of children could have gone. So the same thing, we should let them know the pain. Maybe they don't read. Most women, they can't talk outside. I think that is why it is still continue. Let me give an instance. There was a day I was speaking to 2 grandmas. That was last year, FGM practice. He said, no, it doesn't have any side effect. He said, like her now, they did for her, and she's living fine. She's there. I said, Mommy, is a lie. You are not living fine. He said, hey, she has 4 girls, and she did for all of them. I said, thank God that it is in those. I said, if it is now, or maybe you had a granddaughter, and before my eyes, you want to go and do, I said, I will get you arrested. I say it is like cutting the flesh, a part of our body. Cutting it away. I say before your eyes, not you just cut your finger. It's the same thing. You are cutting off a genitalia. So let me now bring cutlass and cut one of your fingers. You are not a complete human being again. So, but because most women, they don't talk, we die in silence. So because people not say that maybe you are wayward, because that is one reason that they do it, just to curb female sexuality. They believe women should not have pleasure when having sex, so they want to tame their sexual life. Even maritally, when you say you don't have the right to tell your husband, oh, I don't enjoy it, and say you are wayward, you know, that kind of thing. We don't talk, we don't express our sexual feelings. A lot is happening to ladies. Most people that went through that occultic, and let me say occultic practice too. It's true. Once the sometimes that we so accustomed to people, they must, it is more or less like occultic. So they can't express themselves sexually. It will continue. So when I didn't complain as a mother that it has effect on me, so my daughter will not be able to complain that it has effect on her. So it is principalities fighting against. Civilization has given us the room to speak out that it is not good. It is barbaric act. Cutting a part of your body, more or less like a ritual too, because it doesn't make any difference.
Okay, I remember that last year you were also here and we treated the mutilation as it was a World Day, and you said the World Health Organization, the UNICEF are all putting their hands together to put something to make it a situation that will be far gone and it's not going to be in existence again. Now, since 2008, UNFPI joined with UNICEF leads the largest global program to accelerate the elimination of female genital mutilation. Now, the goal is to make it at the year 2030. This should be out. It should be out of practice. But as of this moment, we have we know that World Health Organization, the UNICEF, they are very big body. They have funds. They have things to help them to do this. But also, you cannot take away smaller organizations too that they'll be able to go to let's say rural areas that even these people cannot get into. Now, fund is a problem. If you want to agree with me, fund is a major problem. Now, with Nigeria at the state that we have now, we have other present issues. But this year, if you look at the team is our voice. Now, if you look at this whole situation, how are they going to be able to get this thing done? So that at the year 2030 is just, let's say how many years, 6 years to this time, is very close by, and there's still amount of it that is very high on the rise. People are still doing it, about 12,000 cases per day. This shows that this is a situation that we really need to face. At this point, do you think it can be achieved, especially looking at the area of fund?
Financially, I think the smaller organization, they should be the one in charge to preach it out to people, to the rural area, but non-availability of cash. You know, if you have a lot of projects, especially the NGOs, having that kind of project, we have to get to some rural area. If you are having a car, you won't be able to carry your car. We have to look for a car that runs that kind of environment. If you want to go to that kind of area, you have to have your public address system. Apart from that, a big banner as an illustration for what you are preaching, so that people will see it. And a lot of, and you can't just gather all those old women without giving them snacks or giving them table water to drink in that course of discussion. A lot need to be catered for when you want to do that kind of sensitization in those rural areas. Because if people are not informed, they cannot be reformed. It is what they know that they will fight against it. We call it orientation. When they have a bad orientation about something, it will keep on going on. But when people like us, we have some bodies fighting for it. If there can be grants towards that effect, you know, specifically, okay, we want to end female genital mutilation by 2030. That WHO and UNESCO and other bodies, they should try to bring out grants for smaller organizations. And when that kind of grant is EU, they will use it to that effect. It is a big project. Even that people should get a bus, customize, brander, buster, and female genital mutilation with a kind of a microphone on top of it, crying around the villages that we want to put. So, and with tracts, when you are going with your bosses along those villages with your tracts and your team, they want to wait and hear what you want to say. And when you captivate their attention, you start talking to them. You know, these old women, when they know something, they will fight you to the last cause. So financially, we are not well equipped. So, and when money is involved, there's nothing anyone can do. So we have to source out for fund. Let others bodies and even other bodies that really know the effect, like we survivors, if we can come together to have a kind of maybe a society for that, going to villages, going to churches, you know, some churches too, some religious settings, they still do it. What they claim is it is grounded in tradition and religion, and there's no proof for that. So when we go to churches, you tell maybe you organize like 5 churches so that you won't spend too much money to bring them together as a organization. You talk to them, to let them know the dangers in it. It is going to come to an end gradually. So financially, if we are not financially equipped before that, it cannot end. This is never a cause, because without financial support, we won't be able to go out to all those places. So, and when money is involved, everybody is not that rich to power such project. But when there is a grant for that, you apply and you are given, you know, that kind of grant will be monitored with pictorial things, with activities. You want to give it back to the organization that gave you money, and with that you have to do it. So, but without fund, it's not going to come to an end by that 2030, because those WHO, those UNESCO's other bodies shouting, they can't hear their voice in those villages. It is we here, and we that we are here, we have TV. Like this programming, people will watch it, they will know what it is. But those people in those areas, where is television? They don't know what it is, except we go into that deepest part to go and talk to them, talk to their king. We are coming to your village also. But all those people, when they are well attentive, they will be reformed with the information they get about it. So we need money.
All right. Earlier we were talking about the aspect of culture playing its role in this act, as well as policies that are supposed to be guiding it. Now, before, I would like to ask 2 questions. Firstly, has to do with the purpose at which this act was initially created, to probably secure the lady till marriage and providing pleasure to the spouse. Do you think that this purpose was actually met at this time when it was highly practiced in the society? And also, coming down to culture and the government, do you think that the government has actually played a vital role when it comes to this aspect? Have they been able to look deep into this kind of situations, look deep into this kind of practices to make sure that they could probably create policies and see a way to curtail it? Have they done to an extent that would have said probably maybe it was futile, or they've not done anything at all?
Yeah, let me go to the first question, that maybe it was purposely done because of maybe to curb female sexuality, if it was achieved then. No, because of, how should I put it, women have been subjected to a kind of dumb situation. Then we can't express our feelings. They ask you have no right to say maybe you enjoy sexual life. You have no right then to express your pains. So what do you know? They did it for your grandmother. When you heard that they did it for your grandmother, what will you say? How old are you when they did it for your grandmother? So we have no reason, you won't talk. And when men are expressing their sexual phalanxes more themselves, hardly you see women in those days talking in that direction. Because they have been tamed. Their voice has been caged. Like we have this team, her voice, but then they don't have a voice. It is our generation that knows that they are feeling pain then, but they can express their feelings because of the tradition and the culture that places ban on their voice. But now we really know what we want. We have been educated, we are civilized, we are striving to have equal rights with men. When we are striving to have equal rights with men in politics, in government and the like, is it then that we want to say we don't want to have equal rights with men in sexual? You know, men also, they want a lot. They want their sexual fantasy to be well expressed. Now you have a woman who is just like a dormant person in the room. Men talk a lot when it comes to this aspect, but then women are not allowed to talk. But now, even as husband and wife, due to civilization and the lies, hope you are fine, you know, they'll be able to talk at length, where they should improve on, what should be done, you know, they talk and they reach a conclusion. But then it is a generation that is their voice that they didn't enjoy it. They are in pain, they are in severe pain. It is we that know, but then they think they have achieved their aim. But civilization has opened the eyes that it is a brutal practice and a barbaric act to woman. And when we have to talk about the government, when we have to express it, I think when they enact laws, you know, you can't follow everybody to their room. They don't do it in the hospitals again. We have, let me just say it in Yoruba, this and Yoruba environment, they call them Rakomola, those people that circumcise children after, before naming. Grandma, our mother-in-law, they don't strap picking for their back, going to those old women to go and do that circumcision. Will government come from their headquarters or from the state to come and know what is being done in another person's room? Although they've tried their best in making laws against that brutal act, but they won't take that child to the hospital to do it because they know they won't do it for them. Rather, they take it to that old woman who is a professional in giving marks and cutting part the female genitalia. So, but what I think the government can actually do is that we are still coming back to that funds issue. When funds, you will enact law, good. Also make financial provision for NGOs, for bodies who are in charge of all those things. When money is available, when funds is available, they'll be able to go to, you know, most things mother-in-laws, they are the palaver and the headquarters of this organization. Say, even as a wife, you are educated in the house. You know, a friend of mine gave birth. The wife, if that friend of mine was saying, I'm not going to circumcise and she won't appear. But I said, but not in it's not in this house, so. My friend, grandma tried and go to jail. So it is you that will go to jail. As in a kind of agreement that, you see, he said it's a must. She pierced the hair and do circumcision. Well, mommy, and the woman said, they begin to talk at length. Mommy is not good now. The woman is now coming out. No wonder. When that is when he's touching me, I don't know. I don't, you know, I don't really feel it. I think it is normal. Mommy, that is what caused it though. Because your life has been cut. Say, hey, is that my life? Say, Mommy, that is your life. That is your sexual ozone. Say, hey. And it stopped. So it is their mother-in-laws. They are the chief executive officer of female genital mutilation. If the head of baby should touch it, that baby will die. It is fear that they've instilled in them. That is one of the reasons they do it in some places. That when you want to give birth, some people, it is when they want to give birth, they will just do their circumcision in some places. That if baby should touch it, that baby will die. So when government provide a kind of funds to that effect, when we go to villages, apart from villages, we still have some people in city that they are still very blind because of those teachings in their head that baby will die if the head should touch it, or if a man should touch you, you'll be that you won't be sexually satisfied on time. That would make a lot of ladies that are circumcised are into prostitution. So that is not an excuse. That is what is causing prostitution. We have a lot of them that they are circumcised. Prostitution is by choice. Not female genital mutilation that is causing it. That they won't be satisfied with a man. It's a lie. So it is all those kind of lies, cookings that we have in our brain.
All right,
so,
I want to come in. You said you made mention of something that mostly these practices are not being done, let's say in the hospitals. It's for the local people. But now it is on record that out of 4 survivors of female genital mutilation, the act which was carried out by the health workers is something not restricted. So that means some health workers too do participate in this. Now, in this, our own generation, which we believe civilization has taken over, which also confirm that mostly is not being carried out in the hospital. But now we are seeing that it's on record that even health workers do carry it out. So what do you have to say about this, especially people that are supposed to be knowledgeable about this, they are still doing it?
Yeah, based on what you said, I've seen a health worker who is into that practice. I was just like talking to one woman while they were discussing on this. She said, "Oh, I did for my girls though. It is the nurse that in so health center that did it. They won't do it in that health center. They will bring them to their own house to do it secretly. You know, it is being banned in all hospitals not to do it. But all those health workers, they are into it because they are getting some little pay from it. So if there are ways that we can just get those people arrested, take their license from them, let them go and spend some years in jail, I think that will stop. It will bring a stop to that. They can't do it professionally in the hospital. It is banned. But because, you know, we believe that all those old women, they don't have like Dettol, Spirit and the likes for maybe proper hygiene. They will take it to nurse that has iodine, have all those things. Now when that one too, you know, they did for her too, and they brainwashed her for the reason why that was done to her. She will do it for other girls in the society because of maybe 10,000, 5,000, all those pay. But I think if people like us, people like them outside, like us outside, can just try to do like a CID something. We bring girls for female genital mutilation, we get you arrested, you go and spend. It will serve as a deterrent to others outside. Professionally, it is not acceptable, but they do it as a secret in their own closet. So I think with that kind of understudy, we can get them arrested. Even apart from being arrested, we can still even bring our sensitization to all those health centers and those hospitals. Let's partner together, because when we want to, like, I'm planning a program for that maybe I'm going to a village, I'll go to like 2 health centers, 2 hospitals. Let's come together in collaboration. Let's go to like 2 villages. And when we are talking, you won't be guilty. You won't want to be guilty of what you are preaching of. And in case you are not contented with what you are preaching, you still go into it. If you are caught and you are sent to jail, that is to your own detriment. So let's still get it along. Not everybody is involved. Is involved about the dangers. Even hospitals, we still have to talk to them. You know, they still have grammars at home now.
Of course they do.
They give them reasons why they should do it.
As regards the dangers, but as regards the dangers which you earlier mentioned, what are some of those, like say, what are the detriments to this act? How far or how dangerous can this act actually play in the life of a woman?
We have immediate danger, and we have a future danger too. Like the immediate one, a lot of bleeding. I've witnessed one before. It's not maybe, I once stay where they circumcise. I rented an apartment, so after the cutting, the baby, then I wasn't involved. I'm still in school then, so I didn't really know much about it. So after the cutting, the child was still bleeding, so they have to take that child to a center in that village. So it leads to hemorrhage, bleeding, excessive bleeding. And if care is not taken, if it is being done by all those mama her mother-in-law and all those, that child can die. I said about maybe the third the other time, you know, mostly the environment they carry it out, bacteria, those girls, a lot of, you know, when they talk about maybe diseases at times, sexually transmitted disease, it is not thought that is gotten from maybe opposite sex. We have some disease as a female that is right inside her body through some kind of openings. When you brought a female now, you cut the part that's supposed to protect her female genital part, it has been taken off, so she's not exposed to bacteria. So, and after the cutting, you know, compared to those days, so like now we use pampers, they just use all those Ankara their hair time. You don't use that Ankara that you don't know where it is being taken, the kind of soap you use to wash it, so you've already exposed that child to germs, to bacteria that will be living right inside her body, and as she grows, those things will grow with her because you are not informed that something is right inside her body. And after growing up, even without knowing a man, should be having discharge, infectious discharge, because of what is producing bacteria in her body. So a lot of immediate danger, and maybe the future danger, we know a lot is happening, that maybe if they want to give painful sexual intercourse, a lot, you know, already sharp object has already been used on her. The part that should serve as a protection to her has been taken, so she will experience painful sexual intercourse. And apart from painful sexual intercourse, where at times when she wants to give birth, you know, that part has some parts that they place in that aspect, it has been taken off. Which part will take care of that avenue? There's no another thing again. And apart from that again, according to we are survivors, because we have been mutilated, we can easily say that. And I think if most women can easily say that outside, I think when they know that we are passing through pain, some things, I think it's going to stop. Most ladies that they are being mutilated, they don't enjoy sex with their husband, because according to science, according to your own body mechanism, you know, there are places a man can touch that will get you aroused. There are places they can touch that you feel you want sex, but it has been mutilated. You just be like, see what happened now, come on, do what you want to do, because you are not readily prepared in your body, but the man is prepared, but your body mechanism, the sexual arousal that should be in you is not there. But due to studies and as the survivors, we are trying to come out of those things. A lot of studies, get used to your body, just try to make things right. That is where we can say yes, we enjoyed sex. But to some people, it's just like sleeping and waking up. You know, something you don't enjoy, you can't just say you want it because you believe you have nothing to gain in that, and that is their own pleasure. That is why they do it, that they want to cut the excesses of female sexuality. Prostitution is of choice. We have a lot of girls, ladies, that they are being circumcised and they are into prostitution. So it is your right that when a man touches you, you should feel aroused. It is natural. You are not a wood, neither you are dead. But it is your instinct, your disciplined mind that will tell you that I'm not interested, I'm not for that. So they should stop it. They shouldn't be putting it on being decent. Female genital mutilation doesn't bring decency. If you want to be wayward, you'll be wayward. If you want to flirt, you will flirt. So they should stop putting blame on it. And we know our men, we have guys, we have friends that they really want sexual fantasy from a woman. And you have a woman that has been partly dead, partly alive at home. She has been mutilated. She will just sleep. Are you true? She carry her pants, she go. And now you know have a lady, that man will not be satisfied. That is why we really have a lot of men doing a lot outside. They want enjoyment. They want reciprocation. How should I put it? They want that woman to not just sleeping and waking up after her sexual intercourse. So now they want, he now sees a lady who is not mutilated. Her reaction towards sex will be different from the one he had at home. So with that woman is losing value. It's losing value.
But now you I know we are really out of time, but just in a minute, you've said something about the government. Now you also talked about going to rural areas, talking to people. But now I want to believe when it's culture-oriented situation practices, the head of those community, they do have a long way to play, because for you to be able to get into a community, you need to talk to the head. How has it been so far talking to others head of communities, being able to enlighten them about, okay, this thing is a barbaric thing that we need to stop? Because I know most people can be very stubborn, especially when it comes to their culture and their beliefs. They can be very stubborn, especially in this part of the world, Africa. So how has it been?
Like the one I said, I'm planning to go to a rural community. They have a king there that I want to go and talk to them. No, it will be very, very difficult. But when you are so truthful, so realistic with yourself, you that are going there to talk, when you are going there, pick survivors of FGM who are so outspoken, who are brave, bold, eloquent, and they really know what they want. When you talk to them, oh, we have been doing it since 1707, nothing can stop it. Truly, daddy, nothing can stop it, you know. But I think, how will it be when you enjoy your wife? When you begin to talk from that segment, people like life practical something. But when you are hiding all that belief, you are not giving a genuine reason why it must stop. When you are telling, you have infection, it's toilet disease, you got it from somewhere, sir, it is from those blades that they use for someone and they use it for you again. No detor, no iodine to do that. After one woman has slept, you brought under that same blade used on her again. From their infection, do you know the infection that mother is suffering that she passed to her own daughter? So your own daughter pick it up from again, you start spending money on erythromycin, all those powerful antibiotics. But you are giving them a life practical, you are not hiding. You are being realistic, telling them the main reason, not hiding, maybe I'm feeling shy. Sir, do you really enjoy your wife? You know, men will talk, those leaders, don't mind that, she's not shaking it. Daddy, she's partly dead, she's partly alive. When the woman is being mutilated, it's partly dead, it's partly alive. There should be a reason why you should tinkle your wife, the way she should respond. When you go to places where ladies are not sexually mutilated, they are not mutilated from their genitalia, the way they respond, they are so romantic. Let's be realistic. You will know that yes, you will know what you pay dowry for. Not the law good you pay dowry for. You know, most people, we women will pretend a lot, we hide our pains. You want to satisfy your husband, you be pretending as if you are enjoying it, if they lie. Most doesn't enjoy, just because, so that the husband will not say, you are not even romantic. Whereas what you are rather sexually is gone. So when we want to talk to these all leaders, they have wives at home. Why are they getting married to plenty wives at a time? They want to have a sexual fantasy, not what they enjoy from me, you enjoy for Brie. But when you go to some places that most of their women are not mutilated, we know the testimonies the men gives when they are with their friends. So when we are going to those villages, pick survivors. Maybe you have like 5 people we've attended to, you form a team. When people start giving their own reasons,
experiences,
the village head will enter. I think it doesn't take money from it, but they don't want to feel like a bad egg that Kabiyesi Onigogo of Igogo is doing in their own community. One may own be different. But when you give reasons to Onigogo of Igogo, that thing is bad though, the police will arrest you. If you do that, you go Who want to carry Ogunlade to prison? So we have to be realistic. We shouldn't hide. You should not say, it's not good, but you don't know the reason why it's not good. Before you leave there, if you don't know what you have, they will give you what you don't have. That is not good. Our mother says it's not good. It is that cabbage. Sit down, let me tell you reason why you are doing it. Before leaving that place, your orientation. But when you really know what you want, when you really know the dangers, when you are even ready to speak out as a survivor, Daddy, I'm partly dead, I'm partly alive. I really enjoyed myself. This is what I'm passing through. The same thing a friend of mine here. They say, honey, you know, when they get home, they will think.
Anyways, thank you so much for your enlightenment. But before we go, knowing that today is the day for the zero tolerance for this barbaric act, as we have already pinned it to be, what are your message to people out there listening to us, and also what is your message to these organizations that are responsible for carrying out this enlightenment, as well as the government?
Like our team, our voice, not my voice. When we survivors can come together, there's nothing bad. Let's speak out. The same way we agitate for, we may want to be governors, we may want to be the same thing. We are speaking out in that angle. Let's speak out on this again as survivors, that we want to end female genital mutilation, and be brave enough, be equipped, be search for knowledge on this regard. Sit down your mother-in-laws. Mommy, we won't do it for 10. Shebi I did, mommy. That is then. Mommy, this is the danger. Mommy, don't be surprised if I have not taken care of myself. My husband, your son will bring another wife, because I really enjoy sex. I have to fake it to him that at least I'm responding. Mommy, that is one of the causes. No mother want to hear that. They usually feel pain about their sons. Mommy, that is the causes. Now you've spoken to the mother-in-laws. Be equipped, be bold, know what you want. Not just a wife that they can just toss like a ludo. Know what you want. And to the government, you have enacted laws to that regard. Make funds available and be ready for partnership. No one organization in collaboration with Ondo State government fight female genital mutilation. You know, it sounds big. You should know the consequence of it. When government is partnering with them in that angle, and we are going to like places everywhere, let government be recognized in that regard, that they are also fighting it. Providing money, the same way you provide money for other sectors, provide money in that regards too. And let organizations be ready. Equip yourselves in that regard. Know what you want. Know more about female genital mutilation. Make research. Do a lot of findings. Be well equipped. Not that get you someplace that you should be the one that they will change your mentality. Maybe they do for me self. What am I? No. When you know and be ready to speak out, gather survivors. Do not die in silence. There are techniques, a lot that has been done so that you can get yourself back even after being mutilated. Attend those places, talk to people that they survive it, and tell them not to allow their daughters to pass through that kind of stages. I think with that, if our voice can be heard in that regard, not the usual one of our grandma, that I enjoyed it, or it's a lie. It's a lie. They didn't enjoy themselves. But because of the tradition, the cultural practice, that how dare you, how will a woman enjoy sex? All their life is being laid for their husband, for the men in the society. So I think that will stop.
All right. Thank you so much for your enlightenment. It has been wonderful having you around.
Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
And to our audience, I think this particular topic is cut across all African countries, major African countries where some of these cases are still carried out. We have more other barbaric acts that are still practiced in the name of culture and tradition. However, it is important to know that there are some practices that should be stopped or done away with at this point of our lives, and because of this enlightenment, we should get to know about what is wrong and what is right to do in order for us to sustain better health for ourselves. However, I wish everyone an international day for zero tolerance for female genital mutilations all over Africa and the world at large, and also do ensure that you pass the message as well. Do not just keep it to yourself, but ensure that you enlighten one or two persons out there concerning this FGM. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Daybreak Africa, and this will be drawing the curtain from our station here in Ondo City. I am Angela Daku.
Exactly as Angela said, and our guest has also said, we really need to work for this. We can't just say, okay, we've heard it, we are going to digest the information gotten. We should also share it and enlighten people around us, and let's make this barbaric act a forgotten one for good. And I'm very sure as Nigeria and Africa and the whole world is a beautiful place, we will keep strengthening ourselves and make it a better place for us to live. I remain Michael Obagiri.